How you doing? Scotty Bear back with another video, and this video is about, yes, I was busted with drugs twice in Tijuana, Mexico, and this is what happened. So anyway, the first time was the very first time. Obviously, I was not quite arrested, but busted red-handed with marijuana in Mexico. I will tell you that being busted with marijuana is much different than any other drug, especially meth or heroin, the popular drugs down there. And I will tell you that it definitely doesn't have the same sting. I was fairly comfortable carrying marijuana on you, or carrying marijuana on myself rather, in Mexico, even though that they can shake you down in an instant, and in fact they will pull you out of a taxi cab and shake you down immediately, and it can get a little scary. Personally, my experience in Mexico has been pretty good. I would not call myself some Tijuana expert, but I would definitely call myself a savvy, kind of middle of the road expert. I speak quite a bit of Spanish. I understand quite a bit more, mainly because I was involved with a Mexican girl there that started speaking very little English, and we kind of taught each other both ways. A lot of fun. But anyway, back to being busted with drugs. If you do drugs in Mexico, I urge you to be very careful. You can end up into some very bad situations. Kind of who catches you has a lot to do with what will happen. There are levels of police. One, just the street level police, guys that may not be carrying guns, or maybe one of them will carry a gun, mainly because these are just the low-level street cops. These are the least, people to kind of be worried about. They are not likely to do a whole lot to you unless you're busted with, meth or heroin or something very bad. Marijuana is definitely a different category. If you're not familiar, most small amounts of marijuana for Mexicans is decriminalized, and if so it really doesn't have the same pack. But I will tell you that doesn't mean that you can't land yourself in a lot of trouble. So back to being caught the first time. They had my pants around my knees, literally stripped naked, looking up my ass. I was rolling laughing. I will say that my attitude probably had a lot to do with what happened. I really didn't take it that serious, and I'll tell you why. One is to keep the mood light, like I was an idiot. The other thing I didn't really do was try to engage them in any type of Española. I understand Spanish pretty well, but I still would not consider myself an expert in taking and conversating back and forth, because I will say in Spanish, things are very tricky, and if you say the wrong thing, they're going to get suspicious. And actually, just like me and my girlfriend were talking as we crossed the line, and as we did many times, she asked me what I would do, and I made them address me in English. I played complete stupido, and I made them talk to me in English. One, it puts me at the advantage. Two, they have to try to talk to me. I don't have to try to talk to them. Anyway, back to story. I was being literally searched for more serious drugs. They had what's known as a lata of weed, which is probably about 3 to 5 joints of marijuana that's typically sold for $2 to $5, or 50 pesos, which is about $3-ish. And they had that, and they were looking for other things. As it turns out, I didn't have, or actually I purposely didn't carry any real money on me for this exact situation. I did, however, carry some money on me, because you want them to go away, not pursue you. Didn't carry any debit cards on me, and I definitely did not carry any ID on me. I'll tell you why. Because one is they cannot track you, and their only options are really just to kind of let you go. Because at the end of the day, if you're not really busted for anything that serious, they're far better off to let you go. And I will say, in general, both of these experiences were very, very mild. And I say that mostly because, again, depending on you street cop, federale, who exact stops you, you could be in kind of a couple different situations. The second situation we'll move to, I was actually busted in Playas, right on the boardwalk. They jumped out of the truck with the M16s, and I was with my girlfriend and her small daughter, and we were literally, boom, they busted me again. They had me with marijuana, and they had the guy I was buying it from, again, a lata of marijuana. And basically from there, these were the federales. These were the guys that you would not typically want to be busted with, anything. These guys are the kind of the rougher end. Actually, they make a point to really fuck with drug dealers, or people that take drugs, or people who are involved in drugs. So you don't really want to get busted by them. However, these guys were super nice. And actually, I made them address me in English. I told my little chica, I said, hey, boyfriend don't know Spanish, and they talked to her. And actually, again, boom, they actually told her, ma'am, you should be careful of these guys. And I'm the one that had the marijuana, and you should be careful of these guys on the boardwalk. They're dangerous. And they took him to jail. So they let me go with a pocket full of money. And actually, the guy that they put him in the back of the truck, I actually gave him 200 pesos, and he ran around the corner about 5 minutes later. And basically, that kind of, sums up most of the interactions I had with the police. The things I really want to stress, if you have interactions with police and any type of traffic tickets, any type of, small fender benders, this type of situation where you're being shook down, is one, be honest. Why not? It's you at that point have nothing that you can do. They've busted you red-handed, and the best thing you could do is be honest. Because one, if you're dishonest and they feel like you're not being honest with them, they will further, fuck with you. Number two is, as you notice, they just throw these guys in the back of the truck and stuff like that. No one's really trying to get away. There is a different, the way things are handled. And it's important that if you are busted for some sort of serious offense, they are going to take you in front of a judge, and you may spend 72 hours in some sort of holding cell lockup situation. And it's important to know that in most cases, I don't think this ends up being super serious. Again, unless you really have fucked up real bad and busted with serious drugs, and then Pandora's box opens and God only knows. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and the story on how I got busted in Mexico with drugs. Thanks for watching.